I'm Deepak Chopra. You're watching One World with Deepak Chopra, brought to you from New York City, Deepak Home Base, my world headquarters for media. We have a center for healing in California, of course. And my guest right now is Jaron Lanier. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
That was a beautiful pronunciation.
Okay. And you know, he's very well known in the internet world, one of the pioneers in what we now understand as virtual reality and many other things, very interested in consciousness, neuroscience, etc. So let's start with a little bit of your background in the field of, shall we call it virtual reality?
We can.
Okay, so tell me a little bit of how you got into it and what your contributions have been.
Well, when I was quite young, a teenager and in my early 20s, I was obsessed. Oh gosh, I was really a romantic about the potential for experience and communication, and I wanted to be able to experience fantastic things that no one had ever experienced before, and I wanted to be able to find ways of reaching other people that were new and fresh. And my friends and I built these machines, which we called virtual reality machines, which were the first, you could say the first general purpose simulation machines where people could be inside a simulated world. And in order to see each other, we had to invent what came to be called avatars, where we'd take on bodies. And it led to a fascinating career. It's ranged from co-building the first surgical simulator with my colleagues at Stanford Med, to
surgical simulator.
Yes.
So you do surgery on the internet in a way?
Well,
in a simulated environment?
Maybe not over a long distance, although that happens occasionally. It's more for either training or for designing procedures. And this has become totally standard now. This is no longer radical, but it was at the time. And I've collaborated with all sorts of folks, including quite a few neuroscientists in different ways. And that has led me into an interest in consciousness. I mean, of course, everyone who is conscious ought to be interested in consciousness.
It's the elephant in the room, in every experiment, in every concept. You know, after all, experiments are conceived in consciousness, designed in consciousness, theories are made in consciousness, observations are made in consciousness. Science is an activity in consciousness, but we don't have a science for consciousness.
Well, one of the things I always tell my computer science colleagues is that if you took a computer or something like a smartphone and you gave it to an alien, some Martian or some other farther alien, they would recognize that it produced heat, they would see that it made patterns, and they would think it's a lava lamp. Because without the shared culture, the bits mean nothing. And without consciousness, the bits mean nothing. Without consciousness, all it is particles moving around. All of these understandings of the world we have, where we see algorithms or we see objects, come from someplace that's, in a sense, not necessary. Fundamental physics would be adequate to describe reality. All these other layers sort of come about, and so we do have a bit of a mystery as to how we're able to perceive them. I mean, that there's an object, that there's a cup of tea, is strange because the physics only requires there to be the particles. That there's a word for a cup of tea in my brain is exactly the same. It's another one of these formations that doesn't need to exist because it's just the particles.
But let's go a little bit deeper into this. When you look at this, right, what's coming to your eyes is massless, colorless photons, right? And what's going from your eyes to your brain is electrical information.
That's right.
And so what's happening in your brain is just electricity and chemicals. Where's the cup?